The atmosphere around Ibrox right now feels like one of those moments where everything is moving at once, where every new day brings another twist, and Rangers supporters are constantly checking for updates because the situation refuses to stand still. This has turned into one of those chaotic windows where nothing feels settled, and the club is clearly making strong statements about how it values its squad and the direction it wants to take going forward. One of the biggest talking points is the firm stance Rangers have taken over Youssef Chimiti. A significant offer was placed on the table from abroad, an offer that would usually spark serious debate among supporters, especially given the criticism Chimiti has faced since his arrival. For long stretches earlier in the season, many fans struggled to see why he commanded such a high valuation, questioning whether his performances truly justified the faith shown in him. Yet, in recent weeks, there have been clear signs of growth, moments where his movement, finishing, and overall presence have made a difference. Rangers have looked more balanced with him involved, and that appears to have weighed heavily in the club's decision to reject what was offered. The message feels clear. Rangers believe there is more to come, and they are not prepared to cash in just because outside interest has arrived. A similar story surrounds Gassima, another player whose season has been a mix of promise and frustration. His early form suggested Rangers had found a real asset, but consistency has been elusive, leading to growing impatience in parts of the fan base. Despite that, interest from a major European side has emerged, with a proposal that included a potential long-term commitment. Once again, Rangers chose to say no. When you look at the combined value of these approaches, it is remarkable to think that such substantial interest exists for players who have been questioned so heavily. It raises a wider debate about recruitment and whether initial judgments from the stands may have been too harsh. These decisions suggest Rangers see their squad very differently from how it is often perceived externally or even internally by supporters. Holding firm at this stage of the season, especially in the middle of a title push, shows a desire for stability rather than short-term profit. It also reflects a belief that these players can play a crucial role in what lies ahead, both domestically and in Europe. On the outgoing side, there is movement as well, and not all of it is surprising. Joe Rothwell looks set to move on permanently, with a return south appearing increasingly likely. His spell at Rangers never truly settled, and sometimes a transfer simply does not work out, no matter the intentions on both sides. While there will be little sense of loss on the pitch, it does help to clear space and bring clarity as the window edges closer to its end. Attention has also turned to potential arrivals, though patience is clearly required. Rangers have shown interest in Ryan Adair, making a formal approach that demonstrates genuine intent. However, negotiations remain delicate, with the selling club reluctant to part ways at this stage. The player himself seems keen, which keeps the situation alive, and this is one that could easily run right up to deadline day. These are the types of deals that demand composure, and Rangers appear content to wait rather than rush into a compromise. Another name drawing attention is Manny Fernandez, a signing that has quietly become one of the success stories of the season. Since arriving, he has grown into his role with confidence, delivering performances that have not gone unnoticed across Europe. Interest from major clubs is never flattering when it arrives in the middle of a campaign, especially when a player is so clearly important to the team's balance. Losing him now would feel like a step backwards, and it is hard to imagine Rangers being open to that conversation. At this point, his development has been a reminder that patience can pay off and that not every impact is immediate. Away from the transfer noise, the mood around the team itself has shifted dramatically. Nico Raskin's recent comments reflect a squad that feels re-energized, connected, and unified in a way that seemed impossible earlier in the season. His journey alone sums up the turbulence Rangers have experienced, from being sidelined and uncertain about his future to becoming a key figure in a side pushing hard at the top. There is a sense of relief in his words, but also hunger, as if this group understands how quickly football can turn. Under the current leadership, Rangers have rediscovered simplicity and belief. Performances are no longer burdened by confusion or hesitation, and players appear freer, more aware of each other, more willing to fight through difficult moments together. The recent run of victories has not always been comfortable, but there is strength in that, in learning how to manage pressure rather than avoid it. The connection between the team and the supporters has also been restored. Ibrox feels alive again, not just loud but engaged, reacting to every shift in momentum. Moments elsewhere in the league are felt instantly, and that shared awareness feeds belief. Rangers know nothing is guaranteed, but there is no sense of fear, only focus. What stands out most is how quickly perceptions can change in football. Players once written off are now attracting interest and delivering performances. A season once thought lost has been dragged back into contention through clarity and collective effort. Rangers are moving forward with purpose, refusing to be rushed into decisions, trusting the group they have, and embracing the challenge that lies ahead, knowing that unity, belief, and timing may prove just as valuable as any signing made in January. As the season continues to unfold, what feels most striking is how quickly the narrative around Rangers has shifted, not just in terms of results, but in identity. There is now a growing sense that this squad understands itself far better than it did a few months ago. The uncertainty that once hovered over every selection and every performance has been replaced by a clearer sense of purpose, and that clarity is showing on the pitch in subtle but important ways. Nico Raskin's resurgence captures that change perfectly. Earlier in the campaign, his situation felt bleak, with minutes hard to come by and confidence visibly shaken. Now, he speaks like a player who feels trusted again, someone who knows his role and embraces the responsibility that comes with it. His influence has grown not only through his performances, but through the way he connects with those around him. Midfield battles are being fought with more intensity, but also with more intelligence, and that balance has been crucial during this recent winning run. What makes this period even more remarkable is the context in which it has happened. Rangers began the season carrying the weight of expectation without the cohesion required to meet it. Early dropped points, internal tension, and a lack of rhythm made the gap to the top feel far larger than it actually was. Yet, football has a habit of rewarding teams who stay patient, and Rangers have slowly rebuilt themselves game by game, result by result, until belief returned naturally. The atmosphere inside Ibrox has mirrored that transformation. Where frustration once dominated, there is now a sense of collective drive. Even during nervy moments, the crowd feels engaged rather than anxious, understanding that pressure is part of the journey. That connection between the stands and the pitch has been vital, especially in matches where control has not always been absolute. Rangers are no longer chasing perfection, they are chasing momentum, and that distinction matters. There is also an appreciation growing for the balance within the squad. Players who were once questioned are now contributing in ways that do not always show up in headlines, but are essential to the team functioning properly. Movement off the ball, defensive discipline, and the willingness to sacrifice individual moments for the greater good have all improved. These are the signs of a side that has matured together through adversity. Looking ahead, the demands will only increase. Domestic fixtures remain relentless, and European nights add another layer of intensity. Yet there is a sense that Rangers are better equipped now mentally as much as physically. The squad rotation feels more purposeful, and there is trust that whoever steps in understands what is required. The trust has not appeared overnight. It has been built through shared experiences and hard lessons learned earlier in the season. The title race itself has taken on a different complexion as well. No team feels untouchable, and every result seems to ripple across the table instantly. Rangers are no longer looking over their shoulders with doubt, but ahead with intent. They know consistency will be the key, not statements, not declarations, just steady accumulation of points and performances that reinforce belief. What stands out most is the calmness that now surrounds decision-making, whether in transfers, team selection, or tactical approach. There is less noise and more conviction. Rangers are not reacting to pressure, they are managing it. That does not guarantee success, but it creates the conditions for it. And in a season that once felt chaotic, that alone is a significant achievement. As the weeks progress, this sense of togetherness will be tested again and again. Injuries form dips, and tight schedules are inevitable, but Rangers have rediscovered something fundamental, a shared understanding of who they are and what they are trying to build. That foundation is giving them the resilience needed to navigate whatever comes next, keeping the focus firmly on the present challenge rather than past setbacks or future distractions. As the campaign moves into its most demanding phase, there is a growing awareness inside the club that every small detail now carries extra weight. Training sessions, recovery, and even decision-making on match days feel sharper, as if everyone involved understands that momentum, once earned, must be protected. Rangers are no longer in a position where they can afford to drift through matches, and that urgency is beginning to define their approach. The squad's mentality has clearly evolved. There is a willingness to grind out results when fluency is not there, and an acceptance that control does not always mean dominance. This mindset has been especially evident in tight fixtures where patience and discipline have replaced panic. Players appear more comfortable managing the rhythm of games, slowing things down when required, and accelerating at the right moments. Leadership across the pitch has also become more visible. Rather than relying on one or two voices, responsibility is being shared, with experienced figures guiding younger players through difficult spells. That collective leadership has helped Rangers navigate moments of pressure without losing shape or belief. It is these unseen qualities that often separate teams who challenge from those who simply compete. Supporters have responded in kind. The bond between the team and the stands feels stronger, built on mutual effort rather than expectation alone. There is an understanding that success will not come easily, but that commitment on the pitch will always be met with backing from the terraces. This relationship has restored a sense of identity that runs deep within the club. With crucial fixtures ahead, Rangers know that consistency will be tested more than ever. The margin for error is small and focus must remain absolute. Yet, there is confidence in the group, not the loud kind, but the quiet assurance that comes from preparation and trust. The season is far from decided, but Rangers have placed themselves back in control of their own story, ready to face the challenges ahead with clarity, unity, and belief. There is also a growing sense that this campaign is about more than just results. It is about re-establishing an identity that supporters recognize and connect with. The energy, commitment, and unity currently on display have reminded everyone what Rangers can look like when things align properly. Maintaining that identity through difficult spells will be just as important as enjoying the good moments. Now, as the season continues to unfold, the margins will become finer and the stakes higher. Rangers are aware that nothing has been won yet, but there is renewed confidence that they are building something worthwhile. Each match now feels like a step in a longer journey, shaped by lessons learned earlier in the campaign and driven by the belief that this group can continue to grow together. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. The word spreading round Ibrox this morning is the kind that sets nerves jangling long before the first whistle. James Tavernier, the Rangers captain and ever-present figure on the right flank, is said to have pulled up during the warm-up, clutching his knee and immediately signaling for medical attention. No official line has been offered beyond tight lips and hurried looks, but inside the stadium, the whispers have grown louder with every passing minute. Those close to the dressing room talk of a sudden shift in mood. What had been a calm, focused build-up reportedly turned tense, almost frantic, as staff rushed to assess the skipper. Tavernier is more than just a name on the team sheet. He is the voice, the organizer, the man who sets standards. Losing him at the last moment is the sort of blow that can rattle even the most seasoned squad. Speculation is rife about the nature of the problem. Some reckon it was a sharp twinge. Others fear something deeper after the way he limped away. Knees are fickle things, and supporters will be hoping this is no more than a precaution. Still, the sight of the captain disappearing down the tunnel has fueled fears that Rangers may be forced into an unwanted rethink. Fans milling about outside spoke in hushed tones, phones buzzing with rumors, everyone asking the same question: how serious is it? In a season where leadership and consistency are priceless, even the hint of Tavernier being sidelined sends a shiver through the blue half of Glasgow. For now, it remains conjecture, but the anxiety is real. Until clarity comes, Rangers are left hoping their captain's knee scare is just that, a scare and no more. Greetings, fans. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.